You know what makes any tool better? Lasers. This is the, I don't know how they pronounce their name. The Mileseey. There we go. Look at that. I can do this. I'm a professional. The Mileseey. I don't know how they pronounce it. Anyway, laser tape measure. Plus, we got a bonus one. The laser level thing. This is like the tuxedo, and this is like the Canadian tuxedo version of tools. Anyway, we're gonna do a little benchtop review on these. This one is honestly a bit much for the kind of stuff I do. This I end up using all the time. Let's take a look at it. All right, we got some Mileseey laser products. We got the tape measure and their laser level tape measure instrument reading thing. This is a real high-end kind of tool. This is like their everyday carry kind of thing. So we're going to start off with this. It's a standard tape measure with a few extra tricks. It's got a laser, LCD screen you press and hold. That turns on. It's got a nice little protective, if you can see here, the edge here comes up to protect the screen there. So it can be used in a number of different ways. And it's got a ton of features, but I'm going to use this as a target. We're going to set that over there. And then we're going to set this to, let's set it to 5. Now we're going to set it to 8 inches. No, how about 7? We'll set it to 7 inches right there. And this is 3 1/4. So 7 should get us 10 1/4. So if we sit here, we put it right up against it, and we press this once, and that arms it. You can see the laser over here. We press it again, and it fires, and we got 10 1/4, just like we said, because that's taking the full measurement, not to here, but all the way to here. And you can tell that by the little image thing right there telling you that it's taking the whole tape measure. Now, something actually I just recently found out is a really cool trick that this thing can do is that if you press and hold on the button here, and now, you see if I can change this. So for those of us with problems with our eyesight trying to read a tape measure, I can now sit here and hook it on this and I can exactly see what distance I'm going at. Now that's got a bunch of other functions, and you can do, 3D measurements and all sorts of stuff, and you can change the units from meters to everything else, and you can hold. It's got 20 different hold positions. It charges via USB right there. This is one of the major drawbacks. It's USB. It's like micro USB. Why it's not USB-C, I don't know. Everything today at this point should be USB-C. It's got a clip. But I use this thing all the time around my shop because I can use it as a standard tape measure and be able super easy to read, or I can check my the wall distances by bouncing it off the wall. If I want to go back, I press and hold again. It takes me back to the standard one. I can sit there and say the wall over there is 63 5/16 inches, or I can change the unit and say, well, no, it's 5 feet and 3 5/6, or I can change it again. And I can go 1.608 meters and do it in metric because, smart people use metric. just trying to, yank some chains there. Anyway, and then press and hold to turn it off. There we go. So that's a great unit. Now this thing is wild. All right. It's a little bit harder to read the screen on this. You can see on there, it's very matte black. This one feels like it should be in an architect's office or something. We got lasers on this coming out of every orifice. There's a laser here. There's I think there's a laser there. We got them up here. There's something, I don't know what that is right there. A laser coming out the back side. Here's the charging port on this one. And this one at least is USB-C, so you gotta like that. And I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but as I tilt it, the little bar at the bottom there, this little thing right there, as it tilts, it changes and shows you whether it's on level or not. Like right here, we're pretty close to level. This one, we hit the measure button here. Now you got a laser on that side, got a laser on that side. I think, it's only got the 2 lasers going on right now. So I can sit there and I can say, hey, this thing is, and we press it again, and it takes the measurement for it. And this one, honestly, I've not learned everything about this one. There's almost too much for me. It is too sophisticated for the kind of stuff I'm doing right now. You got memory units, modes, all sorts of different kind of measurements. You can change the increments that gets used by. The only thing I'm gonna say really negative about it is that the screen could be a little bit brighter. It seems like they're going for an effect, a sophisticated matte kind of finish here, because the whole thing kind of screams sophistication. But it's let me see what it says here. It says, do not stare into beam. That's great. It says, do not stare into beam in circles around the beam. So you have to stare into it to read it. Anyway, it has a ton of great features, and I'm looking forward to learning more about this one. But I've been using this one so much. It's like it just sits on the shelf and looks pretty. I don't really use it. You press and hold I think, is that the one that turns it off? One of these things turns it off. Yeah, anyway, one of them turns it off. It'll turn off on its own, I'm sure, at some point out of the range. Anyway, this one, though, I'm sure there's people out there who have a specific use for this. This one I think anybody could use. All right, so we're over on Amazon, and this is the Mileseey, I guess that's how they pronounce it, the DT20 laser tape measure, 3-in-1. It does 130 feet with the laser and 16 feet with the digital tape measure there, regular tape measure, area volume, Pythagorean theorem. You don't even need to pass algebra. It will do it for you. Now, the price on this, $66.99, $67, call it what it is. There is a $5 off coupon. That's going to knock it down a bit. But that's a lot of money to spend. You can pick up a decent tape measure for like $20, $25, right? This is double the price. Does it do double the work? For some people, I think it does. I find myself, I'm in a situation, I don't know why. I just constantly find myself either measuring spaces to move stuff in or move tools into, getting the new studio. We at the shop, fixing up the kids' bedrooms, stuff like that. Often I'm finding myself in rooms that are too large for a standard tape measure. And I absolutely hate doing the whole thing where, okay, I'm going to measure myself to here and then to there and then there and having to do that kind of thing. You're like, okay, it's roughly this. When I can take this thing, put it up against the wall, zap the button, and know exactly, how many, right on the digital there, right on how many feet it is, that's useful to me. Now, I carry an iPhone, and it's got this little thing where you can pick up the iPhone, you can go from there over to here, and it's not that great. With this, I know it's always spot on, and it's something I carry with me all the time because I carry a tape measure anyway. This thing is, you'd have to be in a really specific kind of situation where this makes sense, all right? It's got a tripod mount on the back there. I think I mislabeled that as a laser before, but it's got the lasers on both sides and the top. You can sit on the floor and it will find the whole area, and then you turn it again and it'll find the whole area. This will do it too. You have to do it 3 times rather than just twice. But the fact is, this one, not so compelling, but I can see certain people being like, yeah, I would use that. Realtors, stuff like that. This would be a big, architects would use it. People who are really anal about measurements, they're going to love that. But for me, I wish I'd had this one. I started in the trades as a carpenter. This would have been awesome. We did a lot of stuff. I never did new construction. We always did old construction. So we'd go in and we'd look and we'd have an architect who'd spec things out and kind of stuff, but they were never exactly right. And we were having to kind of freehand a lot of stuff. This would have been really useful, and I'm really stunned that I haven't carried something like this yet, because I don't think they're the first ones to come up with it. But at this price, it was $67 minus $5, $62. You know what? I'm going to talk to them and see if, I'm just recording the video now. I want to thank Mileseey also for sending this over, for sponsoring this video. Actually, I don't think they sponsored it. I think they just sent it over. Anyway, I think they offered to sponsor it, and I said no. I like these kind of tools. We're going to do this one for free. Anyway, the point is that I'm going to talk to them and see if we can get another discount. So if we can, I'll put it down with the links down below. Anyway, let me know what you think. Again, this one, let me know what you think. Which one of these do you think is more useful for the kind of stuff you do on the daily? Anyway, while you're down there in the comments, let me know. Why don't you go ahead and chomp the old like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care. God bless, and as always, shine on.